Hello friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. Let's start our video with a story where OP encounters a customer who insists on matching the online price even though the in-store price is actually lower. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. Change the price. A wonderful lady who decided to grace our store with her presence one day walked in and stomped up to the registers with a phone and an item in hand. Before she even got a single word out, I knew a crap storm was a-brewing and just took a deep breath. Me is me, M is manager, lady is loud and annoying lady. Lady, this price doesn't match the one online, as she slams the item on the counter. Me, after taking a quick but deep breath, okay, can you show me what the price is online? I'll call up a manager so we can fix it for you. Lady decides she doesn't want it scanned just yet and yanks it away slightly so I couldn't scan it and proceeds to continue screaming. Lady, why are your prices different anyways? You should always match the prices on your website. Me, I don't make the prices, ma'am. I just scan them. I grab my radio. Manager to the front for a price change, please. Lady continues ranting on about how this can be considered false advertisement and how could we do this to her, blah, blah, blah. I just tuned her out for the most part because I was tired from only getting about 3 hours of sleep and having to work an extra 2 hours that day. M, what do I need to change? Me, whatever lady has in her hand. M, have you scanned it? Me, no, she won't give it to me. M just looks at me puzzled and glances at her in disbelief and tilts his head with an expression that can only say, okay, then. M, ma'am, may I see the item so I can change the price? Also, if you could pull it up on our website, that'd be great too, so that way I can change it to the correct price for you. Lady throws the item on the counter and starts scrolling through her phone with her 7-inch claws she calls nails. Eventually, she gets to the item and we both look at it and the price on our computer and the price on the website. Item on screen, $8.99. Our price, $7.99. M, ma'am, are you sure you want us to... Lady, just change the price to the one that's online. I don't want to hear it. M, but ma'am, the price on the website is... Lady, just get it done, or do you want me to call corporate? M and I just kind of look at each other and shrug. M, all right, that'll be $9.23. Lady, what? That's more than what's on your price tag on the shelf. M, yes, but that's what's on the website. $9.23, will that be with cash or card? Lady, this is ridiculous. M, we changed the price to the online one, ma'am. Lady, fine, whatever, and throws a few crumpled up bills at us. That was about $10 in crumpled up ones and a 5. M and I just looked at each other and gave each other the quick sigh and head turn that says, heesh. Hey, in the end, she got what she asked for. Be careful what you ask for, you just might get it. I wonder how belittled she felt when she was walking back to the car. And our second story. My friend's chihuahuas lashed out on me. No one did anything, so I scared them off. I used to be best friends with this girl, Mel. She always lived in the neighborhood, and we hit it off instantly. When we met in school, she was younger than me, but a rich kid. She could be a bit obnoxious sometimes, but I loved her. She and her mom adopted 2 rescue chihuahuas with a bit of a Spitz mix in them, I think. They were beautifully fluffy. I went to see them and hang out. From the millisecond I touched the doorbell, I could hear them barking from 3 stories up. Mel's waiting for me in the hall outside of the apartment, giving me the heads up that the little doggies are still very new to all their surroundings. They are super sensitive to everything, so they bark and growl at everyone. Please don't take it personally, and please be patient type of speech. I go in the house and see 2 adorable little doggies that look like foxes chilling on the couch barking at the TV. Oh, look how cute they are, Mel. And they see me, they lock eyes, they go silent. Their back fur stands up and they show me full teeth. They turn to demons, I tell ya. I froze in place, super startled, and asked what I did wrong. Her mom liked me very much, so she took it upon herself to make me a friend of the pesky little doggos. She gave me a bacon treat and told me to approach them slowly and speak to them softly, repeating their names to encourage them. I went full-on wildlife whisperer to them, hands sticking out, eyes low, steady step, making myself smaller, muttering, "Hi, pretty lads, who's a good boy? Yeah, who's the best boy ever? I have a treat. Look here, buddies. Aha, tasty snack time, won't it? Can we be friends? I reached the couch, the dog still super threatening, but nevertheless approached my hand slowly, took the snack in the most sinister, menacing, slow-motion way possible. They split it and ate it with eyes still locked up on my very soul. They devoured the bacony thing and stopped growling for a while, their hair back to normal now. They stood up on the couch arm and looked at me with their noses up and ears down. Mel's mom's now ecstatic. Yes, oh my gosh, how precious, they like you. You can pet them now. I go, are you sure? They don't wag their tails or something? Mel comes next to me and says we can pet them together. She starts to pet them very gently. They're very comfortable with her and forgot about me for a sec. She grabs my hand and pulls it near the dogs to let me be a part of the cute playtime. Alas, the second they realize Mel's not the one petting them and I am, they go from 0 to 100 attack mode. I'm talking about a proper wolf-like lashing out. There was deafening barking, saliva, eyes ready to pop out of their sockets. I was so unprepared that I fell back and crawled against the wall to get away from them. They literally corner me and start biting my shoes and making teeth holes on my jeans. I look at Mel and her mom. They're a fair distance from me and try to call the dogs back like talking to human babies. I now start to debate with them to pick the dogs up, please, so I can move and get up, and they mutter things like, wait for it, let them socialize, they aren't going to bite you. I shout, they are biting me already, please take them away from me. I don't have to wait for them to bite on my skin. They look at each other and nod in defeat as they go in the storage room to bring out some kind of expandable indoor dog park to put them in. I hear Mel's dad from the kitchen talking to himself. It's just chihuahuas, for Pete's sake. They're 3 women against 2 chihuahuas. Cue petty revenge. I'm now alone in the living room. I spring up on my feet and the doggies back up. I fake bang on my foot the floor and fake lean forward to fake lash back. You know, like bullies do. I see it's working. So what I do is pull out all my hidden theatrical skills and my courage and as deadly silently as I can, tower above their heads with the scariest grimace, arms flailing around like branches in the wind, switching my weight from foot to foot, jumping around like a possessed witch of the swamp. The little Satans disappeared, yapping and crying, stepping on each other, slipping on the marble tiles, searching for a hiding spot, turning upside down small pots and floor decor, and Mel and her mom popped their heads from the storage room wondering what happened. I simply told them I just stood up and they got scared. They believed me since they didn't hear any sound or shouting or cussing or anything. I could never ever scold an animal anyway, and they trusted me with it. Needless to say, every time the little spawns of evil annoyed me like this, I just waited to be alone with them and pulled my new favorite trick again. I never got caught, and they all were always wondering why the dogs behaved like that. Never spent a dime to take them to training, though. It never occurred to them that chihuahuas or not, being bitten hurts like a mother effer, and they should have helped me instead of making me a social experiment for pets. Hey, the dogs are growling and showing their teeth. Better give them a treat, that'll show them. Some people shouldn't have dogs, man. And our last story. Crazy neighbor keeps turning the power off to my apartment. I moved into my apartment in September 2023 and immediately started experiencing frequent power outages that would last for hours. This went on for months, and I initially thought it was a building issue. One evening in August 2024, my neighbor, who'd been quite troublesome since I moved in, knocked on my door. I chose not to answer because ever since I arrived, this neighbor had been persistently knocking to ask for favors. On the first weekend after I moved in, I made the mistake of letting them use my phone. After they returned it, I discovered that many of my apps and contacts were deleted. I had to take my phone back to the store to get it fixed. They also frequently asked for cigarettes, always promising to pay me back when they received their government assistance, but they never did. That night after the neighbor left, my power went out again. Noticing that other apartments still had electricity, I asked another neighbor why I was the only one without power. They suggested I check the breakers in the laundry room, a place I didn't even know housed our individual breakers. Sure enough, my breaker had been turned off. The neighbor informed me that this particular person was known to do this to others. Realizing that my neighbor was deliberately turning off my power, I contacted the property management. They said they would address the issue, but the power outages continued. My breaker was being turned off at least twice a week. Each time it happened, I reported it, but nothing was done. Recently, the apartment building was sold and we got new property management. When my power was cut again, I started calling the non-emergency police line to document each incident. Yesterday, my power went out once more. I went to the laundry room and caught the neighbor coming back from that area. I confronted them about turning off my power. They denied doing anything, but when I mentioned I would call the police, they retorted, "Go ahead, they won't do anything." Taking their challenge, I called the non-emergency police number and provided the neighbor's name, explaining everything that had been happening. While I was still on the call, they dispatched officers. Shortly after I hung up, 3 police cars arrived. The officers came to my apartment first. I explained the situation in detail and showed them all the documentation I'd collected over the months. They then went to speak with the neighbor, who initially refused to answer the door, but eventually came out to talk to the police. After their conversation, the neighbor began sitting outside, appearing agitated and talking to themselves. In the meantime, I'd done some research and discovered that the neighbor might have a criminal record, possibly including a felony and multiple arrests. While I'm not entirely certain, information I found online and conversations with other residents suggest that the neighbor has a history of concerning behavior. This added to my worry about how dangerous the situation might be. The officers warned the neighbor that tampering with someone else's electricity is a serious offense and could lead to legal consequences. The new property management company has also taken action by securing the breaker box, making sure only authorized personnel can access it. While the neighbor continues to exhibit erratic behavior, often sitting outside and talking to themselves, they've stopped interfering with my power and no longer knock on my door. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.